I'm Robin Murdoch, live outside Detroit Police Headquarters, where a 28-year-old Detroit man now faces charges in connection to the brutal murder of a prominent religious leader. We will have the very latest on his arrest and what led to it in my live reports.
Did she ever say why she wasn't at the house?
No, they stated that something about her being at a friend's house.
This one was tough. A boy with no adults in the house gets a hold of a gun and accidentally kills himself. His parents now face charges. So many questions. Hours after his release from jail, the father speaks about it with Fox 2.
Also this morning, this is supposed to be the happiest time of the year, but that's not always the case. Coming up, we are working for you with some ways to take some of the stress out of this holiday season.
Working for you. Fox 2 News live at 11 starts now.
You know, we always talk about winding down and relaxing during the holidays, but then there's so much pressure with gift buying and what's going to be on the dinner table. Nurse Knuckles is going to be here to kind of help us out here. So, Ryan, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Hey, thank you for joining us. I'm Brandon Hudson on this Thursday morning.
And I'm Ryan Romani. Nearly 2 months after a Detroit synagogue president was found stabbed to death outside her home, prosecutors have formally charged a man with murder.
Yeah, during an announcement, the Wayne County prosecutor called it a very complicated case. Fox News' Robin Murdoch is live with the new developments. Robin, police were already familiar with this suspect.
Yeah, Brandon and Ryan, this suspect was certainly on police's radar for a couple of weeks. As you know, the brutal murder of Samantha Woll made international attention, made international headlines. So that is why so many people really have been waiting for this moment. And now we know a 28-year-old Detroit man is behind bars. And while the details of exactly what happened are expected to come out in later court proceedings, police did share that the suspect was a total stranger to her.
We have charged Michael Manuel Jackson Bolonis. He's 28 years old with the following offenses.
This is the latest mugshot of the man now behind bars for the brutal murder of prominent religious leader Samantha Woll. Prosecutors and the city's police chief together announced on Wednesday the list of accusations the Detroit man now faces and the painstaking work that got them here.
We follow evidence. We don't follow rumor. We don't follow innuendo, opinion. We follow evidence.
That evidence includes hours of surveillance video and phone records, enough probable cause to charge Michael Jackson Bolonis with murder, breaking and entering, and lying to police stemming from the president of the downtown synagogue stabbing death back on October 21st at her Lafayette Park home.
Investigations don't usually happen in the 44-minute legal procedural type TV shows. They take time, they take attention, they take energy, they take passion.
And persistence. The 28-year-old was arrested by DPD a few weeks ago for busting into cars in Woll's neighborhood the same night of her murder, but needed more to connect Jackson Bolonis to that crime at the time, so they had to release him. Police, though, kept him on their radar and kept building their case. The details expected to come out in court.
Obviously, there was something about what transpired in our conversations with him that was at the very least concerning to us, that allowed us to continue down the path of the investigation and start linking some other things to his actions and activities.
It's alleged the suspect broke into Woll's home while she was inside. There was a confrontation, and then he stabbed her multiple times. In a statement, Woll's family thanked investigators for their dedication and efforts, saying Samantha's death is an unspeakable tragedy that has affected not only her family and friends, but also those who knew her as a devoted community activist, leader, and bridge builder. She was loved deeply, and her light spread far and wide. End quote. So again, police say that the suspect was not familiar to Woll, that she did not know him at all. During that press conference yesterday, both police and the prosecutor repeatedly said that this does not appear to be a hate crime, that there is no evidence to suggest that in any way. Now, the suspect does face life in prison without parole if convicted on these charges. We are live outside Detroit Police Headquarters. I'm Robin Murdoch for Fox 2 News.
Robin, we appreciate your report. We heard a little bit from Samantha Woll's family, but have you heard anything from the attorney of the suspect?
Yeah, of course, everybody wants to know what he has to say in this situation. Now, according to published reports, he does say that his client is innocent. As you know, there was another person of interest that was taken into custody in early November. That person was released. So the suspect's attorney says that they believe that they have the wrong man once again, that police have the wrong man, and that their client, his client, is a victim of circumstance. But of course, that will be determined by the court. Back to you, Brandon.
Robert Murdoch reporting live in downtown Detroit. We appreciate it. Have a good day. Ryan.
Brandon, right now an investigation is underway after a pedestrian is hit in the area of Merriman Road and E-Course. The road between I-94 and Beverly Road was closed following the accident. There are reports a dark gray vehicle was speeding and hit the victim who was crossing the street. The driver did stop, but so far there is no word on the condition of the victim or if the driver will face any charges. Stay with Fox 2 for any updates as they become available. Meanwhile, an arraignment set for today in the case of a driver who tried to get away from police but crashed and killed a man. It happened earlier this week on the Southfield Freeway near Schoolcraft. The driver losing control on the exit ramp, rolling over and hitting another vehicle, killing a 59-year-old man inside. The suspect, who is 20 years old, suffering minor injuries during the crash.
Well, new this morning, Detroit police are searching for a masked man who intentionally set a gas station on fire in a brazen arson attack. Detroit firefighters and police surrounded the BP station on East Jefferson near downtown. Witnesses say the masked suspect wore all black when he came in and with a gas can and set fire to the building inside. The clerk made it out safely, but we're hearing the inside of the building suffered heavy fire and smoke damage. Thankfully, the flames did not spread outside or near the gas pumps. So far, no word on any arrests.
Firefighters in Taylor battling flames at a house on Hampton Street overnight. That's near Eureka and Beach Daily. The call coming in around 1:30 this morning. Everyone got out thanks to a neighbor, but there's a lot of damage to that house.
We got a report of a fire, and then occupants were getting outside. Crews got on scene, had a working fire, got a good knockdown. The occupants were actually saved by the resident across the street, saw the fire, went inside, and actually got the occupants out.
Now, as of this morning, the cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Developing overnight, a barricaded situation involving a kidnapped baby and toddler in Highland Park ends peacefully. The call shut down part of Stevens near John R. and 6 Mile as police negotiated with a woman inside the home. She was there for several hours with an 8-month-old and a 2-year-old. The children are foster kids and the woman does not have custody. Police say that she also suffers from mental health issues.
The Detroit Police Department negotiation team, they did an excellent job. They continued communication throughout the night, and finally they're instrumental in helping take the suspect into custody.
Again, no one was hurt. The children went to the hospital for an evaluation as a precaution. Prosecutors will now decide on any potential charges against their mother.
The parents of a 5-year-old Detroit boy who accidentally killed himself after finding a loaded gun appearing in court for the first time.
Yeah, Lisa Brown and Sterling Minion Sr., they each face several charges, including involuntary manslaughter. Minion is out on bond and is telling Fox 2 his version of what happened.
He was like my best friend. Like, he understood me in ways like most kids I got don't. And it's like really heartbreaking.
And he was named after. With tears in his eyes, Sterling Marquise Minion talked about his 5-year-old son, his best friend, who died over the weekend. Detroit police say the child, Sterling Jr., was jumping on a bed in an apartment when he discovered an unsecured gun and pulled the trigger.
I had a call that my son had got shot, and I came fast as I could because I was down there doing maintenance. I do maintenance through all of these down here, all around here, and I got a call. When I got here, the mother was up there already pre-holding my son on the ground.
Both parents now face charges. Police say mom and dad weren't at home, leaving the 5-year-old and his 4 siblings unsupervised. Sterling Minion says that he was working during the time of the shooting. He also says the gun didn't belong to him.
In the gun, in her name, everything, like it was her firearm. She must have had it misplaced it for them to be able to get access to it.
Did you know why there was a firearm in the house?
I know she had purchased one some time back. I don't know why she had. I couldn't be around them because I just got off of papers with like probation for it. So I can't be around no firearms.
Did she ever say why she wasn't at the house?
No, they stated that something about her being at a friend's house.
Sterling Sr. says he and his child's mother live in the same building but different apartments. And one of the reasons he wanted to speak to us is because he says that he's a working father who is trying to provide for his family that's suffered a devastating loss.
If you go keep a firearm or something, just please have it up safely, like properly with the locks on it and everything. And this stuff been happening a lot like this with people, kids, like a lot. And I never thought my son would be a victim of this.
Now, as you can imagine, this will be a tough holiday for this father. Sterling Minion says that he will now make funeral plans for his young son while also handling these court charges, and he doesn't have any legal representation, but he's looking for an attorney.